So we're going to tap into this, and ES won't, so we'll have an SMT there. Worth noting. I'm pretty confident on the new week opening gap, but even if we didn't have an SMT, I'd be taking a long out of this all day long anyway. You feel me? There was a question earlier. Yeah, so what's your take on trading the macro times it goes on? Yeah, so the macros for me, the macro starts at, I know that people say different things, and ICT sometimes says 50, like 950 to 1010, like 10 to 10 past, but then he says on another video, oh, you can add 5 minutes onto that, like, you know, in certain occasions it could be quarter to quarter past. I definitely notice the candles start to react, start to move in a certain way around 40, around 22. So I prefer to take trades in those times. For me, the best success I've seen is from 22 and up until just 5 past the hour. But that's just my own experience, you know. That's just and I would always prefer to take trades in the kill zone. So first 2 hours of New York, for example. I don't really trade London anymore. It's a lot lower probability, and you don't really need to, you know. I'm trying to get to the point where you could just take 1 or 2 trades a day, even a week. Once you get up to 5, 10 accounts, you can be taking 1 trade a week. You wouldn't even, you know, and you can make P's off that. You feel me? So that we want to get to a point where we're not taking a lot of trades. So therefore, we can be selective and just take a trade in the New York AM. That's the highest probability. The first 2 hours, first 2 to 3 hours of the New York session is prime. That's where you can just clean up. Unfortunately, I'm not able to trade that anymore because I'm working at those times. I've got school runs. I'm driving taxi, so that's a bit peak for me. But I'm working towards being able to take some time off work and trade that. You feel me? But yeah, if you are disciplined enough to trade from 22 to say 10 past. That's my that's how I put it. Then yeah. But there's going to be entries that appear outside of the macro. Are you disciplined to just not take that? You get me? If you do, then, you know, maybe you size down, maybe you have a tighter stop, you just trade manage to trade differently. I don't know. So in short, I don't stick to it as a rule, like only in the macros. Some people do. That's cool. But I've reached plenty of payouts and had plenty of successful trades outside of the macros. So I keep an eye on it, but so it might give you more confidence in the trade. But that's about it, you know. What you said?
Can I talk?
Yeah, 1 second. We're going to talk a little bit later about last night anyway, yeah? And try wipe that the top down. It's getting greasy. Look, keep it clean. But because yeah, I don't need it on now because the camera's off anyway, so turn it off. Don't use water for that though, obviously. Just get like a wipe or something and wipe it. Alright, there we go. That's you all out, Tom. It's NTP hit, yeah? Jeez. Alright, let's drop down to the 1 minute. Excuse me. Have we even got... Did we get a nice reach or not? Not really. Get 30-second. We want to dig more into this. Tom's telling me we got the previous weekly low, yeah? What's that, this? Oh yeah, because that's the new week opening, isn't it? So that's the low. I see you. Yeah, we ideally we want this. And that's probably why we haven't got that. You know, you normally get a 1 minute reach down, and then that will create the bearish 1 minute for us to invert. We haven't got that here because the reach hasn't happened yet. Hopefully it's going to reach to the weekly low, and then we get a 1 minute out of that, and then we take a long out of that all day long. 4R. Nice, Tommy. So I'm hearing, so I'm liking. Nice trade, brother. Yeah, today was nice. Nice price action today, man. I can't lie. What was the other one? I ain't even had a look at London. I don't even know what happened in London. Did you trade London session, Mum? I know you're there. I know you like the London session. What's this London here? There's some nice equal highs there. That's a nice big opening candle there. We get a sweep on that. Nice. Yeah. It's not the best price action, to be fair. Okay. So question is, if we don't take out this weekly low, are we going to enter on this 1 minute? It's dodgy. It's dodgy. I would scale in. I'd have to scale in. That's a 5 minute on the 1 time frame. It's one thing I've learned in trading is there's a nice 15-minute sweep. I missed it. Where's that, bro? 15-minute. There was a nice 15-minute sweep. Oh, what in the shorts, to get in the shorts? You mean earlier? Oh, in London. Okay, so yeah, I just remembered what I was talking about. Yeah, New York opens where it's at. Alright, if we get, and let me just see how this displaces here. If we get a clean push through this in 1 minute, I'm going to take the long, regardless. What's the ES doing? Yeah, so Tyler, in situations like this, I would like to look at ES. Because ES, if ES gives us a nice clean 1 minute as well as NQ, then even though we've got previous weekly low, I would take it because both assets are moving in tandem. If ES didn't move up and NQ gave us a 1 minute, it would be harder for me to take the trade, and I'd have to just take it intuitively in a moment. Yeah, Log, what are you saying, my bro? Logger's online. You take it with me, bro. Let's do it. That's my boy Sully, big man in the game, in the crypto space. Good to see you in there, bro. Previous week, yeah, I don't want that 1 minute. I want the weekly low, ideally. Because if we don't get the low, or 50% of it, I have to go in lower risk. So let me get my thing out. Okay. Yeah, massive stop. Well, the stop would at best the stop would have to be here. It's a big gap. Get these on the same screen. This is quite lethargic. It's not what you really want to see. When you tap the new week open, you want to see a spring. You want to see two free candles max on and off. Obviously we've got this. Okay, here we go. We've got this. We're right in the macro now as well. That gives me a bit more confidence. We've got SMT. We have touched the gap. I'm not going to let the previous weekly low deter me too much. I'm just going to size down. So if you're trading this, I recommend you just size down a bit so that you've got enough gas in the tank to re-enter if we get stopped out. XY2C next move. Very previous size. Okay, say no more. Sully, say no more, my bro. Appreciate that. Let's see what the price does. Let's see how it looks as it's moving. I got a 50% tap. Yes, not quite there yet. Got bearish, tiny bearish S&T. We get a strong close above here. We're going in with 3 micros as opposed to what I'd want to do, which would be a 5 if we didn't have previous weekly low here and we dug into 50%. I would happily put 5 macros on this. I need a strong close. Not there, not got it yet. Yes, it's there at 50%. We pushed through it, tapped into 50% of this range, and we closed very strongly through it, almost like it wasn't there, you know. So that's very bullish for me. I like the way that looks. ES is now doing the same, closing above 50%. So I'm more confident in this move now. We just step out a second. Got 20 seconds on the candle. Breaking through into this order block. How much, any resistance there? Yeah, we're eating into that order block pretty nicely. Let's see how this candle closes. It's not the best close. I'm going to give it a second. I want to break this high and then I'll enter there. We've got the close, but it's not good enough for me yet. See how we react to this bearish 1 minute. If we start digging up into that and we break through this high, then we'll be going in with 3 contracts. A little more, little push for me, little push. In with 3 there. I have a tight stop underneath the candle that created the bearish gap. I mean, you can target 1 to 2. Well, we got like 2 bills there, so it's 2, 4. 1 to 2 would be reasonable. What's a 5 minute looking like? I mean, we want these highs really. We want these highs. And we can adjust the TP depending on price action, how it moves. Got these equal highs here, so there's going to be a pretty early break even. I need to set up my templates, man. Stop messing about. Writing it in every time it's along. Don't really need ES on there now. Let's get this central for the recording. Alright, let's see if NQ wants that weekly low. 50% tap, so we'll get a reaction off that. Don't light them candles. Let's see if we want 50% of this. Yeah, we've got 50%, it's got space. I'm going to take that down to 200 just to give it 50% tap if it needs it, but that's the lowest I can go on it, I'm afraid. We want to get a close in the top half of this gap. I like that reaction. we want that 50% to hold ideally. That's nice, that's nice. Just type this in so people can see what we're doing. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. That's what we want to see. Come over here. Let's reevaluate our TP, not get too greedy. Looking at here, we've got a range here. 50%. Right at the break even, we've got 75 DRT. Where does that put us? So that's at 420, so that's a 2R. I'm going to play it safe and just trade it like I was trading a funded. I wouldn't reach at this time of day. See if we can get a 2 minute or something, gap in here. Yeah, this high is respectable. I do feel like we'd get that high if we go up, but a 2R is respectable at this time of day. And obviously I'm up on the day crazy, so I don't really need to be rinsing it for everything. But you know, everyone is going to do their own thing depending on their account type and size, etc. Let's tidy it up. Can't see that. The break-even's pretty close today. I'm feeling like I might leave a little bit of risk on here, just because we have swept equal highs here, so we'll expect a retracement, but sometimes you want to leave a bit of space for retracement if the break-even is close. So in this case, I will just range it. 50% is in fact right where my stop is. There's a volume imbalance there as well. It's not great. I'm not really willing. Alright. I'm gonna put my stop here. So I'm taking 50 or 60 off or so. I think it was about that much, wasn't it? Yeah. 200 risk. Let me see this again. 50% here. We've got a volume imbalance right at 50%. So that for me is it's an algorithmic signature. When you see an imbalance or a fair value gap or order block right at a DRT level, price is likely to want to return to that point. So for that reason, I'm going to pull my stop underneath this low here, give it space to hit the balance, tap the 1 minute, hit 50% of the range. Hopefully it doesn't come down here. If it does, I'm happy to take that loss. I can afford to do that at this point. So yeah, obviously it's a It's a practice account. But I'm still trying to get a certain amount of P&L by the end of the week, so I want a good weekly result. So I'm playing it like I would play a funded ticket on my XFA. Cool, bro. Good. This is a decent trade to take. This is at a new week opening gap. We've had a good reaction, nice tap into 50% of the gap there, and a good move up. It's all about where you place your stop now, my man. If you're at break even, you might get stopped out. So yeah, so just leave some risk on. But yeah, do what you can afford, man. Yeah, I hope you get a win. This is actually a unicorn. I'm just realizing now. Got a breaker here. And we've got a fair value gap inside the breaker. This is a unicorn model, very strong level. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just see support here and move up from here, to be honest. Hey, Oliver in the chat. What's going on, brother? Hope you're good, my man. What are you saying? You in the charts at the minute, or what are you doing, man? You working? What are you up to? Back testing, my guy. I know you got this, man. Yeah, appreciate that, my man. Nice one, man. It's a decent trade. This is, I would give this, in fact, it's pretty much an A+ setup. What we're missing, we're at 50 when discounted the range, with a new week opening gap, we have a pretty, it could have been a cleaner V shape, but still, that is decent. I mean, if you go to the 3 minute, you got your V shape. But I haven't got my list on here because it's on my trading view. I need to bring my list over because I need to see it, to be honest. We've got a unicorn, which just makes it great. That's just a great thing to see. When you see a fair value gap in a break like that, that is exactly what you want to see. So we had, yeah, liquidity sweep, pretty clean V shape, high time frame delivery. That's the week opening gap. Equal highs. We had equal highs above for ages, but let me see what we've got here. Yeah, I've got some equal highs there left from earlier. That's a strong draw. Now I would say that this is the market maker reversal down here at the week opening gap. Yo, Stunt Life, you say, my bro? Bear in mind, I'm not sure who that is. If I know you, I don't know you by this name, so let me know who you are, yeah? But we're up in it, we're going anyway, yeah? Premium discount, yeah, in a discount, decent break even, could have been better, but it's fine. SMT with ES, yeah, we had SMT, equilibrium retracement, yeah. This is almost an A+ setup. I'll just say that the A+ would have been just a clean V shape, but this is A to A+ setup, so I would be 100% to be taking this on my funded. Nice. So now that we've had a retracement and a push up, let me just quickly see what else we're working with here. So a 5 minute gap there, pushing through that like butter, like it's nothing. Love that. And there's another 5 minute gap here. So I'm gonna bring this TP just to this 5 minute gap. Didn't spot this before. And this, yeah, that's still pretty much a 2R that we had there. Just because we could hit some resistance here, so that would be a better TP, I think. And what was I looking at here? 1 second, just forgot what I was doing. Yeah, okay, I wanted to take some risk off. So at the very least, I'll be moving this up here. If we came back down now, I wouldn't want to see us come back past the breaker and past here. Let me see what the range is saying. So your entry is at 50%. That's decent. We've got this volume imbalance, which always scares me. But to be honest, if we get such a deep retracement now, I'd want to be out at this point anyway. I don't mind risking 76, but that's the most I'm willing to risk there. I'd want to be out at this point. I'm going to give it 50%, 100. That'll be my stop, and yeah, happy with that. Of course, people play differently. You could take some partials. I very rarely take partials. I just think it takes a lot of your TP. I'm quite confident that we go up from here because of the nature of this trade. You know, if we do turn around here, then it is what it is. But we've tapped into a 5 minute there, getting a little 50% of this range as well. Yeah, we are 50%. Let's see. That's a strong close in 50% though. That's a strong close. Looks like we're inverting so you can see how price reacts at these DRT levels. When we break above and close into 50, we usually see a retracement, a tap into that DRT level. We've tapped the breaker here as well, and I'd like to flip bullish and close bullish on this, or at least on a 2 minute. Yeah, that looks decent to me. Nice wick on that. Go on, girl, at the gym, watching me smash it. Come on, and I bet you're smashing it too. Yeah, it's looking good. So far so good. This is what I expect to see. It tried to push back down, breaker held it, 50% DRT held it. Decent. Started trading this week. Stats are looking decent. What did we do up there? So 500 on Monday, 875 yesterday, and that was pretty much at the end of the day. It caught a banger at the end of the day. I was waiting for ages for it. We got it. And then today, 6 trades on 309 so far. Win rate on this thing's crazy, but obviously this is only over a short period of time. MES. But yeah, no. Strategy definitely bangs. I wonder if we break even now, because I don't like keep retesting this breaker like that. I want to leave it on. I've got faith in this trade. I'm just going to leave the risk on. If we take a 100 loss, that's nothing. Yeah, so you took the 3 minute IFVG, nice one, bro. Yeah, so stop should be at break even, bro. But because I'm getting this, so for example, the entry is, the break even's pretty close to the entry. So if you'd gone straight to break even, you'd still be in. You'd still be in because it hasn't actually tapped break even. But when it's so close, what I do, instead of just moving straight to break even, I'll take off a lot of risk, and then I'll trail my stop up, just to what I think is appropriate. Of course, we want to get to break even, but we also want to stay in the trade. Yeah, otherwise, you're suffocated winners. You know, if you keep getting stopped out at break even, and just bring up your stop to the amount that you can afford to risk on the account that you're on. Yeah, if I was trading the funded now, this is where my stop would be. I wouldn't bring it to break even just yet. We're too close to break even. You know, and we could easily want 50% of this range before going to TP, and that is at break even. So I'm giving it the 50% space that it might need, which is here, just underneath break even. There's also a volume imbalance here, but this is also an area of support. I don't want it to go any lower than this, and if it did start pushing violently through this area, then I'd want to be out at that point. And taking 100 loss is fine. I can deal with that. So break even is usually break even, but some of the time it can just be taking a lot of the risk off, depending on on the distance. You could potentially have had your break even at this 5-minute gap. If I'd zoomed out and had a closer look, I might have put my break even there. But even so, I still wouldn't be at break even yet anyway. We want to see our close above this. We don't really want to invert this breaker, ideally. Got 30 seconds on this candle. I want to see this gap offer support. See if this breaker can do its job. That's nice. 50%, that's good. Just coming out towards the end of the macro now. I'd like to see in these last sort of 5-10 minutes, I'd like to see a nice push up. We do often see that last little run happen at the end of the macro, so hopefully we get that. Floating around at these highs though, struggling to get above these highs, above that 5-minute. Let me see what it looks like in this 5-minute. We respected 50% of this. We'll tap back down. We've had a tap at a 5 arcade. There you go. There's a 5-minute gap tap there. I know it's a bit messy, but there's a 5-minute gap tap here. I'd want to see us move up from there really. Alright, let's tidy up a bit. Come on NQ, let's keep it moving. I like how we're staying in the top half of this breaker. That's what you want to see really. Could see some ranging for a bit. That looks a bit. Playing some music. I can't remember if I put the music back on or not. Let me see. Yeah, that's nice. That's funny. So now that we've had this accumulation, just as with the higher time frame, we could see manipulation before we moved higher for distribution, and all we're hoping is that that manipulation doesn't go so low as to stop us out, which is there is the potential for that. When we see this, it's not ideal because it's likely to dip before going up, but I'm not willing to put any more risk on here. So it's that 160. Let me see. I'm going to put my stop here just because I know we're likely to have a sweep. We're now closing in the bottom half of this breaker. I'm going to keep my stop there. So revised stop at 457. Getting nervous. But yeah, that gives it enough space to get this volume and balance. Tap the 1 minute if it needs to. Get 50% if it needs to. This gap is right at 50% as well, so I think that's a decent place for the stop in a minute. Yo, come in. What's up? Good morning. Let's go. I like this. 1 second, just move this out of the way. Yeah, we still haven't really had that sweep actually. We just left equal lows here. We likely at least want this gap, I think, before we go higher. See the difference between this and the AM? This is what you got to put up with. Killer. Here's what it is though. I mean, as long as we do get TP, you can mess around as long as you want, as long as you go up. It ain't going nowhere. That's a nice 50% tap. Tap, 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 tap and go. What time is it now? 1:15, so we just come out of the macro now. We might see some consolidation for a while, guys, but that's all good. That's part of the game. Gotta have the patience, you know. I'm still very confident. We've inverted this 5-minute gap here as well. We've swept. We came in. We hit these lows, and we're basically bouncing between this 5-minute gap and this breaker at the minute. If we do get a sweep down, that's fine. 5-minute gap here for support. Is that a volume imbalance there? Yeah, we've got a 5-minute volume imbalance here as well. That's fine. That's the most space I'm willing to give it, but I'm still confident in this trade. Still feel very bullish. Some equal highs here. There's 9:30 open. Yeah, it was midnight. Midnight's all up here. Yeah, with a deep discount. We've had the new week open gap. I'm happy. Yeah, for sure. I was thinking that as well, because you had no chance in the AM session. It would all be afterwards. But yeah, I think it's important to know the process, the full process during a trade like this. That breaker's holding pretty well. I mean, if we look at that on something like the 3-minute, the 3-minute is just in the top half of the breaker, so decent support at this level here. 2 minutes there. So Moses, you went on the 3-minute. Okay, so that would have been pretty much the same entry though here, isn't it? Yeah, 3-minute there. And if we look at that, gap there, yeah. Okay. Let's get a nice strong close up here. Are we going? And by the way, our new break even, our actual break even, can be here. We'll break these highs, we'll go to break even. So on the 2-minute even, decent support on the breaker. nice strong close there. I think we might be breaking out of this consolidation now. Come on, cue this roll. Let's keep it moving. Have a look at this 5 minute. Got some stacked up lows here, some low resistance liquidity right above an order block. So if we don't just go TP, we do want to sweep. I only want this order block here. I want that to hold. Ideally we just go straight to TP now. Nice, nice, nice. That looks good. So what have we done here? We've pushed and closed inside this 5 minute. Looks like we're going to move up now. We've actually closed. We're pushing above the through this 5 minute now. Should be plain sailing to TP from here. Just want to get right at the end of this 5 minute here. Look. See if we can get. If we can get a nice close above this, that'd be nice. A little quick push. indecision candle. Don't really like that. Inverted indecision. $7.30. We ain't got no Trump speaking or anything at the minute, have we? Today, Wednesday. Beige, but FOMC 517, FOMC. That's yellow folder, that's nothing. Okay. Let's go. Turn off my TV, you know. Anyone set the power button? Obviously, if I press the power button, it's going to go off, isn't it? Right, what's we saying in the chat? Did we not form an SMT with ES? ES took out that internal high. Yeah, I'll be real, guys. At the minute, I'm not trying to look too much at ES. I'll have a little look. There's in a gap there as well. I'll be honest. I do see that we might get a retracement, but this high is my draw. Like, that's my draw on liquidity. Okay, I don't expect the price to come to this level where my stop is before getting to this level. That's just, I try and keep it simple there, because if I look at too many things, then I'm going to manage my trade differently. I'm going to go to break even earlier. I'm going to do this and do that. You could move to break even now if you want to just have a risk-free trade. That's cool. If you're seeing things that you, in your experience, makes you doubt the trade. But for me, after hitting a new week opening gap and creating a unicorn with a breaker, I want to see these highs. I'll be surprised. 8 times out of 10, we're going to get this high. You know, and if I look at ES or I look at other things, or if I go to the higher time frame now, I could probably find something that would make me think, oh, actually, no, maybe this ain't going to play out. If I do think that, then just move break even, you know. But for me, I'm sticking to my guns that this breaker's going to hold. If not, then where's the order block there? So then this order block would hold, and if not, then I'm out, and I was just wrong, and the draw is lower. The next draw that would be wrong, that would have been that would make me wrong, would be the previous weekly low. If the previous weekly low is the draw on liquidity, I'd be very surprised that we create a unicorn model and then go and dump to that, you know. And I've taken enough risk off where if I do lose this trade, I could re-enter anyway. So managing my risk allows me to stay in a trade despite what you're always going to find conflicting evidence, you know. So my advice, if you want it, is don't overread things, because there's so many ways you can enter this trade, interpret this trade, make you want to close it or exit, you know. So that's one of the reasons I don't look at ES too much as well, you know, because at times ES has run ahead and created an SMT or done something, and then I've closed a trade and it didn't have any effect at all, you know. And I'm thinking, man, I ain't gonna rely on that too much now. What is my real style of trading? My style is liquidity, inversion, fair value gaps. They're the two main things for me. Like, we have swept New York a new week opening gap. That's a strong liquidity level. We've created a breaker, a unicorn model, and I don't see why a price wouldn't just want to run up to these highs here. You feel me? That's the trade idea, so I'm just going to stick to it. And manage risk appropriately. So we can afford 133 is nothing, you know. And we can get to break even soon as well. Took full TP and the 5 micros, yes. Go on, Sully. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Yeah, so your TP is that, there you go. So if you put a bit of extra size on it, then you've got a smaller move to take, and you're good to go. Yeah, love that. Good to hear that, bro. Another thing, Moses, about SMT is that it's not as SMT means smart money timing, yeah. So that SMT could be building up, but on the lower time frames, it could build up for quite a while. It's only when you start seeing it on the higher time frames, right, we're break even there, guys, that you can start saying, okay, you know, there's a chance that this could now spin around because this SMT has been building up. But it's not just like as soon as you get the SMT on the lower time frames, a lot of time can still pass before that really comes into effect and that reversal takes place. Yeah, so don't be too scared off by the SMTs on these lower time frames, my bro. Yeah. Look at this 5 minute now. Right, we'll be approaching another macro soon. Yeah, so 15 minute, 1 hour, you know, like, let me just for, let's have a little look just so we can actually see what's going on here now. So I like to do, everything I do is just all DRT levels, so tell me a lot. So we're in 50 to 75 here, we're in 50 to 75 here. So for me, there's no serious SMT there, okay, on both levels. We're in roughly the same area. If one was in a completely different DRT level, like for example, let me just double check this. So this is the 11:30 candle. Should have these on the same screen ready. 11:30 candle. We've come up. We've closed in the top premium level here. We've tapped once, tapped twice, and we're finding support at that level. So that's what we want to see. What's happening on NQ? 50%, close below, break of support, and moved up again, and we seem to be using this also as support. We want to see another nice strong close above in this area here, but they're both resting in this premium, pretty close together in the range. So that's a way to sort of just go to the 15 minute, get your DRT levels. If they're both in a similar area, like in the same DRT quadrant, then I wouldn't worry too much. But yeah, we also had a big SMT. I don't know how big that is, but SMT, bullish SMT, because this is the new week opening gap on ES, and we've not reached that, and we tapped into it on NQ. So another reason we took this long trade in the first place. Yeah. Don't like these candles. Didn't really want to retest this breaker, to be honest. Feel like it's done its job. Breaker's getting tired now. Could collapse. But that's the game. Obviously I'm green on the day, but I kind of want this win because I do like this trade. It's a decent trade. It's an A setup, so I wanted to play out. But I have to be honest. If I was on a funded account, I would be at break even. So I'm not going to move it down just because I'm on a practice account or a paper account. I'm just going to play it like I would. Approaching the next macro, next 5 to 10 minutes. See if we can get that last push, hit TP. So I think that's our first close. Oh no, we already, yeah, so yeah, we closed here now. top half of that, so we should see some movement after now that we've closed in the top half of that 5 minute here. We should see some movement now. We're stepping into the macro 40. So this is where we usually see that volume come back in, or that algorithmic energy. You see that candle there start flickering? That's what we want to see. Got any 2 minute closes? 13 seconds, a nice strong close above here, that'd be nice. So this level has been holding, we've got 2 minute here. So we can get a close in that gap. Go on, push, push. Rubbish. You're dipping into an order block there. What is that? Here's 3 minute. Got a few closes inside this block, which is good. A few visits. Come on NQ, let's go. Let's get it. It's enough messing around now. Yep. Definitely want to get involved in the AM session, guys. That's where it's at. We're going to see a lot of this. I think Sully made a good move there, put a bit more risk on, and having a closer TP. That was a good move. I have to take that on board for my next trade, especially if we've had good moves in the AM. Really don't want to see this break or tap again. Could very easily get a sweep down here and take a break-even trade. That is what it is. Alright, 45 minutes past. Yeah, might be a break-even. I'm not putting any risk back on it though. I'll take the break even if we take it. Nasty price action. Don't like that. Do not like this price action at all. The fact that we've moved into the macro and we've seen nothing is not nice. It upsets me. I'm considering a hard trail on my stop here, and then just if we do get a retracement, just taking profit. I want to see a push up here. I don't want to come down here. If we come down, we're likely to sweep all these lows and get a break-even trade anyway. And rather than sit through another half hour of chop, I'm probably going to try my stop. I wouldn't normally do, but how much is it? It's 142, you know. It's worth, that's worth a trail. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Each to their own. If you want to sort of hold, if you're in this trade and you want to hold this, it's cool, it's a decent trade, but we may see a sweep, so you might need to leave some risk on. You might need to be down here if you want to hold this, because this is your last level of defense, really. So at the bottom of this candle here, if you're going to stay in, I would suggest you put it here. Otherwise, break even's fine, but there's a high chance it will sweep that level. So that's my decision. Also, I'm kind of done for the day. Obviously, after this, I'm gonna go through some of the trades I took today. Just have a little recap of the AM session, if anyone's interested in that. Hang on for that. And so by trading my stop, that will get me out of trade quicker as well, because this is just, and see all these stacked up lows here. See these stack up lows like that. All these long positions, you know, people trading the lower time frames, people are taking longs here, they're waiting for retracements and they're trying to trade engulfing candles and all sorts of entries here. And so all their stops are right below here. So if I was a market maker, I would do this and then I would run them stops, tap into his order block and then go up. So you got to think like the market maker rather than just hoping it goes to TP. That's what I would do. So therefore, I'm just going to cut my losses and take some profit here. That's my thoughts behind that. Yeah, anyone in the chat, if you haven't already, do me a favor, slap a like on this video for me, yeah? Just trying to get the algorithm kicking in, because You know, it all helps. Really appreciate that, yeah. If you can, and if you've got any friends that you think might want to be involved in the lives, yeah, boy, let me see it. Then send them this, share the link, share the channel, all of that stuff, yeah, and just get some people in here and build this up. Smash 2026. Let's go, NQ. Now, so this is that 5 minute gap in it. What are we on? That's a new candle. I don't mean nothing. We've had these wicks before. We've had them before. Still struggling at this level here. Shoot them up here. Really want to see this 5 minute hold now. Don't want to go back below that. We've had a couple of moves here, a couple of nice strong push. Don't want to see us go back below that now. Nice. We like this wick. We like this push. Macro energy. Yes, Tyler, I've been here, the whole time. Cool, my bro. So we're going to your boy and that. I hope you guys are having a blessed time and that. What was I going to say? Yeah, same time tomorrow. I'm going to try and get here earlier and earlier, guys, yeah? I'm trying to mix work with trading, obviously. Sometimes I do like a last job, but it's a short one. I can get back for like 3, half 3, maybe 4, you know? So if I can, then we can catch some better price action. But appreciate you guys being here, man. Supporting the live. That's love, yeah? Building a little trend line liquidity here. I should put that there. Give it some space. Hopefully it follows this line here. Yeah, Sully, bro. Unemployment claims, we love that. So, good day to trade tomorrow. It's been a good week, man. It's been good price action this week. I've completely killed it this week. Ripped up these markets. Hoping to do the same next week on these challenge accounts. I'm not even sure what the week's looking like next week. But yeah, tomorrow, Friday should be quiet. I think we might get a really rangy day on Friday after all this volatility, but we'll see. But yeah, man, what time is it tomorrow? Is it open? Let me just check the factory. Yeah, 1:30. Yeah. Okay, so 8:30 open. Yeah, 1:30. I doubt I'll be on then. If I am, I'll be on my phone somewhere random. I'll try and jump on and then leave some signals in the Telegram. If I've got time, then I'll trade it. But regardless, we should see some nice volatility in the open and then the kill zone anyway, you know. Alright, we're all out there. Happy with that trade. Now that we broke this trend line, we should, and we're in a macro, we're likely to see the sweep that I'm talking about. So if you are at break even, you know, just watch your stop, because when you see this and we break, if we close below this, still got 30 seconds, then we'll likely get that sweep. But 1.4 on a day, 1.5 on a day, can't complain with that. That's a decent day. Alright, let me clean up these charts. Let me stop this recording. Right. I've got the chat open, so if you lot are in a trade or anything, just let me know what happens in the chat, because I'm going to go off now and look at my trades from today, because I can't even remember what I did now. I know it was good looking at this P&L, but I just want to go over now. I can never really read these executions things properly. What did we do? Let's have a look. Okay, so today 9:30. So this was so I don't even remember taking this trade. Must have been half asleep. I didn't take a trade this morning. What time is this? Oh no, that's 12. That's midday. Yeah, so I did take that trade. Let's have a look. Must be on 1 minute there. Oh yeah, okay, so as soon as I opened my phone, I pulled up somewhere, opened up my phone. Yeah, bless, Sully brother, appreciate you, man. Yeah, glad you got involved in that as well, my man. And yeah, I'm just about to review the trades from today. Same time tomorrow, my bro, yeah? Maybe a bit earlier if we can. So today, midday, so we often see a little bit of volatility around midday, 12 o'clock. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's like it's not even in a kill zone or anything like that, but it's like, it just seem to get a decent move quarter to 12, quarter past 12 quite often. So when I see this, especially if I see it 1 minute, then I'm happy to take that. What was we sweeping? Have a little look here. And that's not helpful. Down here, was it? Okay, so must have been sweep here. What, London lows? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we tapped into. Okay, so this isn't the greatest long, because we've come down to some low resistance liquidity here. We could easily have come down, had a fake out, and just run all this liquidity out. But because we had swept, yeah, this is good. This is good to look at. Look. There was a couple of fake outs before the one that I took. If you look here, there's a 1 minute here. Come down. What I need to do, stop messing about. I'm tired now, guys, so you have to bear with me. 1 minute, 15 minute. Let's just get those lines drawn out. So the lows that we were looking at. Am I seeing things differently now? Okay, so where's that telling me we didn't come? Okay, cool. It's very difficult to see all of this madness on the chart. Okay. So here you could say that we've swept here. So this low here, you could say at this point, we have swept this low, yeah? So some people would have been taking longs at this point. At this point here. Okay, we come down, we sweep that low, here, and we get a 1 minute here. Look, that's not a terrible entry. If you took that entry, that's fine. Those fake outs were confusing me as well. Yeah, this is why I'm going over them, Mum, because I think this is what you're probably talking about earlier, right? So there's one here. Okay, now, yeah. So don't be confused, because the thing is, you can take losses. It's absolutely fine to take losses. It's just about how big is your loss. Yeah. Now 552. That is what probably it's a really bad time to be taking a trade. Yeah. It's a very low probability time of day, because the London kill zone is over, and it's just you're likely to see some lethargic business here. Also, we've had our accumulation up here, some manipulation, and then we've had a distribution. So after that phase, that AMD phase, you're likely to see accumulation, and in that accumulation you can get low probability 1 minutes. It will happen, but it's fine. So let's just say, for example, you took this 1 minute here. Okay, it's a pretty small one as well, which gives you a really tight stop. If it's not in a kill zone, it's in a low probability, it's straight after a big move, then the smaller the better, because you don't want a big gap and have to leave a big stop on a trade that you're not confident in. Okay, so if you sweep that and you get this 1 minute and this looks really bullish, and you're here, stop should be here, right underneath the gap. You don't want to stop down here at this point, okay, because there's especially since we've got, overall today we were bearish, but look at this low resistance liquidity here. There's the potential to run that. So with that in the back of your mind, you say, okay, I want to go in, but I want a tight stop. If it doesn't go straight away, then I want to get out. Yeah, so you get in here, stop just below the gap here, nice tight stop. What's that? 13-point stop. It's nothing. Okay, TP here. There's nothing there. There's no. For example, that's a 2R there anyway. Look, you come out, you get stopped out, right? This is the first trade, stopped out there for a 13-point stop, which is nothing. It's a small amount, and then you must have been looking at this. Then there's a second 1 minute here. Yeah. This is the second 1 minute. We come down, we get stopped out. We're like, oh, okay. We're still using the liquidity. We've already swept liquidity. We tap back into that key level, that area, and we get another push up. We get another 1 minute. So we enter here. Yeah. Where is it? Let me see. Right, that's annoying me now. There's the entry here. Here, what's that stop? 17-point stop. 17-point stop. So that's a decent stop. Anything over 20 is a bit high. At this point, you might get unlucky, because you might say, okay, stop. We close above there. I want the stop right underneath the gap again. But once you've been stopped out there already, you might want to say, okay, let me give it a bit more room. If you do put it straight under, well, cool. You get stopped out for 7. It's not a lot. It's really not a lot at all. There's another 1 minute here. If you get stopped out here and you get this strong candle above this 1 minute, re-enter, stop below the gap. You can take a couple of entries on a trade if you're confident on the liquidity. And remember, you only want a small move, so we would only be wanting this. What's that? 30 handles. So on your loss that you took before, what was it like? 10 to 15 handles. Yeah. You're going to get that back plus more. So where you put your stop in a situation like this, in low probability conditions, is going to be all the difference. If you had re-entered and then just put it at the low there with a 17-point stop, which is not a lot, and then targeted this high here, pretty much a 2R, and you would have got that. This high is where you're going to see the most resistance. This should break even here. So it's lower probability, but there's still money to be made there. You can still take. I hate this. I don't know how to get around that. Anyway, you get a drink. Let's try to find a candle that's close enough. Anyway, that's your break even. So here, break even straight to TP. You've sent me. I didn't go in because it was bearish. Exactly. Yeah, we were bearish overall on this day. If we look at the daily, But you can still, again, because the 1 minute's so short, such a short move, you can get them. We had this candle, this indecision candle, and we're high up in the range. As you can see, we're up, down. We're at the top. We've swept these daily highs. We're very likely to be bearish today. So you wouldn't want longs, to be honest. But you could have got them. On London session, you could have got one there. And then I took the next one. And that's just because I wasn't at the charts here. I literally pulled over, opened my chart, and it was like here. I'm seeing this consolidation at this key level. I've seen that we've bounced a few times, created some liquidity, and we've swept this liquidity here. So that was the significant liquidity, as well as this key level. And look at the candles as well, and the time as well. So the time was 12 o'clock. You see a strong bullish candle. Then the 1 minute is, where is the 1 minute? Must have entered over here. Yeah, 1 minute is, let me move everything. 1 minute is here. So even if you had, for example, taken a loss there, and then a loss, and then a little win here, you'd have seen this swept and gone, okay, that was building liquidity, this accumulation, this manipulation, and you jump back in right here where I entered on this candle here, and then that's your long, and then you would have got all your money back plus more. It felt great. Stop could be tight. 17, what's that? 27 stop, probably too much. Underneath the candle that created the bearish, what's that? 17 point stop, 19 point stop, decent. Wait, I can't remember what I targeted. Oh yeah, I think I was getting a bit ambitious. I was targeting pretty high. It started consolidating. I had to drive, so I got out. But yeah, this candle here, I must have trailed stop. So it wasn't actually that much in the end. I think I'm just coming out about there. So it's like just over, almost a 1-to-1. My fear about today's dump is that the banks were teaching Trump, who really controls the Federal Reserve. May well be. I don't know nothing about his economic things, but I'll take your word for it. So that's my first trade. Took a decent amount on that. Pretty sure I took a loss after. What's this? Buy. So oh yeah. So just before market open, we had a mad wick. I was taking a long position here off of this 1 minute. 1 minute here, and took a long. I think I got in quite. Yeah, wait for the retracement and took a long out of this 1 minute venom thing here. Very, very confident on the long position to just run out these highs, or to get a small scalp. And then and this mad wick come stopped me out. But as soon as it stopped me out, because remember, I'm going, okay, accumulation here, right? We accumulate here, we manipulate here, and then I see this 1 minute here, and then I see that with venom. This is a venom signature here, guys. Take notice of this. You see this here? This is a balanced price range, and it's indecision candle at the bottom, and this looks like a needle. You can imagine that looking like a needle. That's the needle there. That's called a venom signature. Okay. When you see this is a very strong. It's a balanced price range, a very strong reversal or bullish move, or bearish if it's the other way around. So keep your eye out for that. I love that. I see that a lot, and it's very reliable. So we get this here. I missed the entry. I think I was driving or something, so I waited for it to retrace, and then on this candle when we tapped into that, I entered. Started moving up. I was confident. Then just some mad volume come pre-market and stopped me out. As soon as it stopped me out and started to move back up, I knew that this was a sweep. I knew that this was manipulation. So as it started to go back up, I just re-entered straight away. Re-entered, and then just took these highs here. So it was a small scalp from here to here, but it was a decent amount. I risked high on it, sized up on it about 7 micros on that. In fact, it was free. I actually put 5. Okay, so I add some to it. 5 micros. Yeah, added 5 here. So that was enough. From here to there was a pretty decent move. So that was 2 wins and a small loss. And then we had market open, where I took the short, this scalp here. Yeah, okay, that's why it was such a nice move. I went in on 7 here. I wanted a short move just down to these lows here. So this was my exit. I had my TP here. Very short scalp, bounced around for a bit and then just went straight to TP. Entered on this candle here, which is pre-market. So 1 minute before we open, and we have a 1 minute. Let me clear everything for a second so we can get 1 minute, which is here. Nice 1 minute. I love when we see accumulation, manipulation, just these highs here, this small manipulation here, that's enough. And then we get this 1 minute just before market open. Can you see that? There's your 1 minute gap, there's your close, and just on this one here. And as soon as we opened, we had this sort of, as you get on the 9:30, this move, and then just a dump down. And because I was in on 7 contracts, I took like, I don't know, 500 or something like that. It was a nice move. Then I had to drive again. Otherwise, if I didn't have to drive, I would be bearish on the day, and we come up, and then we come down here, we close here. This would have been a short I took. I thought I did. I don't know why the marking's on there. I must not have taken it. I must have just been looking at it. But this would have been another short entry here. Okay, this 1 minute here, and this would have been your 1 minute IFVG here. Remember, we're bearish on the day, so that's why we're taking shorts. You could have took this long here, but you would have taken a small loss, and then you would have hopefully re-entered here. So this is a short position there. Stop could have just been above this candle here, targeting a 1 to 2 or wherever the liquidity is. Put that in the 15 minute. The next low. Where was the next low? I can't bother to get tired now. Right, so you get the gist of it. We were bearish, so we're catching moves on the way down. Then when I got home, we took a short here because we had a 5 minute IFVG. Okay, I think we hit TP here. Did we get that retracement? It looks like we did. I'm just going to go back and look at that in a second. 5 minute IFVG, let's get rid of everything, was here. So this is when we got back, and I think I took this on stream, didn't I, on the first stream. That's the 5 minute, closed below here, entered here. And we got stopped out in profit, didn't we? Yeah, came down, and then we trailed stopped out in profit, but took some money on that. And then we re-entered here because we were still aiming for this new week opening gap. We had a 1 minute. Pretty sure we had a 1 minute. Yep, here. So we waited for that retracement. It was 50% retracement. Tapped into a 5 minute order block, and then we took a short position from here. That's your 1 minute. Guess we'll go stop above here, and then we wanted a new week opening gap, but we didn't do it. It didn't get it. It was just floating around above it, wasn't it? That's where we got the consolidation, and then we trailed stop, and then came out here. So I think that's 4 wins. 4 wins and 1 loss. I'm not sure. Maybe I might be wrong, but something like that. Consolidation, and then this is our long position. And we'll just go over what we've seen here. Look at this beautiful 1 minute venom here. I was just talking about that. We just produced one. Lovely. So last trade of the day. Entry here on our. Is that the 1 minute? Why is that looking different to me now? Tapped into the new week opening gap. Oh yeah, 1 minute was there. Okay, cool. Tapped into new week opening gap. 1 minute's there. Entries here as we close above. We had a close here, but I wanted to see more. Nice 50% tap. Moved up. This is where Sully got out. I think he got out somewhere around here, which is a decent exit. So I was wondering if we were going to get that 50% retracement, and we do. And look at how we tip. We tap straight into that 1 minute IFVG there. You see, that is algorithmic signature. And what have we got there? A venom signature, straight in and straight out. Beautiful balanced price range, 1 minute straight out. So you could even have entered here and took a scalp here because it's such a strong signature. I want to see if my break even got tapped. That was pretty much. Let me just quickly see. Did it get 50% of the range there? Yeah, 50% of the range is there. Break even would have been here. This is my break even. This is where I was. So as you can see, I was right. I felt right to get out of that trade because we did have the retracement that I expected us to get before we went up, and I would have just got stopped out of break even. Instead, I'd done a tight stop and took some profits out of a trade that I wasn't really willing. But actually, let's look at the order block that we was talking about. The order block that I expected and wanted to hold was here. And that's exactly what happened. And the initial stop loss, if you were going to stay in, my advice was to have your stop below this candle here or below this order block there. So if your stop had been there, you would have been just safe. So read the market pretty well today. Happy with that. And then we have TP up here. What does TP look like? Just got that high that I was saying would be the draw liquidity, and we tap that nicely and then start to turn around. So yeah, I mean, reading the market like that is what you want. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, feels good. And that allows you to manage your trade effectively. But it's getting late now. I can smell my dinner. I'm hungry. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Be sure to like and share and just support the channel as much as you can, guys. Yeah. Sending love to you all. Have a blessed evening, and yeah, same time tomorrow, if not earlier. I'm gonna try and get in earlier. Yeah. If you're not in the Telegram, then jump in there. So when I'm on the move, I'm gonna be putting the signals in there when I'm not on lives, so we can trade together like that. Yeah. All right, bless up, and I'll see you tomorrow.